This is Gabrielle, and I'm here with Liz Murphy and Phoebe Hewson and the lovely Jessica Waite, founder and owner of The Plot Restaurant, a brand new vegan restaurant opening
January 20th-ish, right around
January
there.
20th-ish. Put that on your ish calendar.
I have not, until we get our final health inspection, I can't say yes, we're opening at this date, but all signs point to right around the beginning of that stretch.
We're going to posture.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
So show us around, talk to us, tell us what's
So this is basically the whole structure is counter service during the day and full service at night. So you can see there's going to be a hostess stand here. It's actually living in the corner right now. Things are still kind of getting shuffled. But when people walk in, they're going to walk up to the counter during the day and order from the counter either breakfast or lunch, or there will be grab-and-go refrigeration kind of right over there where that little hole is in the counter for those recording. And that'll be, people can just walk up, grab their sushi, vegan sushi, of course. I'm going to stop saying the V word now, but we'll just assume from here on out every food item I'm referring to will be completely plant-based. And they can do salads, they can do bowls, or juices out of that grab-and-go refrigeration.
Okay.
So you can just grab and go, or you can order at the counter, have a seat, and be served.
Beautiful.
At dinner time, we're going to turn into full service, and we'll have reservation system, hostess, people can walk in, make a reservation, and be seated and have a full service experience.
Okay.
So we're kind of looking for a good balance between that kind of casual, easy, grab-and-go daytime lifestyle eating, and then nighttime just actually sitting down and really enjoying a kind of coursed out experience.
And what time do you foresee that shift will
Shift
be?
is going to be at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's our other two restaurants open at 4. So that kind of is when we feel like we vibe into dinner a little bit and do that. So
Okay.
yeah, we're so excited. It's been such it's not a madhouse. It's all really well orchestrated.
Mm-hmm.
Our construction company or the general contractor is phenomenal. That's Cultivate. They've been doing the best possible job. We only took the space in April and then really didn't even start digging until midsummer. And then we had to really just kind of get the building. It was just a lot built on top of a lot for years and years of different businesses, and a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense, and then a lot of stuff we had to do for building and for health code.
Right.
So we just kind of pulled everything apart and then just built it back up in a way that was just going to be really easy for us for operations.
And it's gorgeous. I mean, it's
Thank
everything
you.
you described to us, and we're not even done yet.
We're not even done yet.
Amazing.
No, and that's it's not even as cold as I feel. Maybe we're acclimating. With the 40 degrees, I was like, I'm gonna be freezing. So over on this side, we have what's gonna be a little bit more of a communal area during the day, and those are gonna be your big communal tables. We've got a lot of ports for plugins for laptops and everything. And then over on this side, it's going to be 4 tops and 2 tops. It's going to be a little bit more formal seating. And then we have patio seating as well, which we could walk over to. And that is right now currently being constructed. They're doing stucco out there. Okay. So there's still a lot going on, even on a Sunday. And then we're almost done with the finishings. There's going to be a lot of plants. There's a mural going on the side there. It's going to have the quote, "The future is unwritten," which is from Joe Strummer, and it's my husband's favorite. And for us, a huge part of what we're doing here has to do with obviously wanting to make good food and a great business, but also to do something that's really awesome for the environment. And I think right now people are just, I'm sure a lot of us are just living in this state of kind of almost, I don't know if it's depression or panic or fear or feeling like kind of a little bit helpless about what's going on in our environment. Mm-hmm. And this idea that it is unwritten, we still have an opportunity to make some real changes. We can do that through our food system. Absolutely. So that it was kind of like, when he said that, there's been moments throughout this project where something will happen and we'll just be like, yes. And when he brought that up, he's loved Joe Strummer forever. And he said that, I was like, God, that's perfect. And then also we want, another slogan is feeding the evolution. Because I think from the perspective, we all want a revolution. We all want to just stand up and fight, but we need, it's a marathon. We all need to just understand that it's going to happen gradually. And so there's going to be a little feeding the evolution right over there. Awesome. So those are the things. So should we walk around, or do you want to ask questions?
We'll ask as we go if either of you think of questions. Also, we're going to be taking pictures of the outside, and
awesome.
I would love to, for you, if you can, show us the Airbnb.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still waiting on our table. Lance I love him. He's almost done with it, so that will be good. I'll show you that.
Okay.
So right through here, we've already talked about that. We've got our bench seating. We've been all agonizing over whether or not to whitewash this. I know it's a weird thing, but we love kind of the industrial gutted look.
I was just going to say, this looks pretty
beautiful,
cool, just the way it is.
And we were going to leave it, and then when we saw how white everything is, my interior designer, she tends toward a little bit cleaner and a little bit more white. But my graphic designer, who's done all of our graphic stuff, he's Black Moon Designs, he's really tended toward a little bit edgier. And when he said he thought we should whitewash this because of the color, I started leaning in that direction. And it's funny, it seems like such a little thing, but it's something we're all kind of divided on right now. So Davin's the last man standing for keeping it raw. So we'll see. You guys will be able to tell who won when we
see. Okay, interior designer here.
Keep it raw. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives it that earthy, recycled, down
industrial.
to earth, and, making the best of.
This, right?
Yeah, the ceilings are staying. That was another one that there was a lot of kind of back and forth on, was whether or not we paint the ceilings white. And I was torn, and I'm so glad that we stayed raw again. And I think it's, especially as we've started to bring in the finishes, we didn't whitewash the walls, we painted the walls, and they still look pretty rough, I think, which I'm happy with. I think the whitewash, once we tested it out, it would have looked a little too rough. We're really trying to just kind of show love to the bones of the building.
Exactly.
Stay Oceanside, stay a little gritty, because that's who we are, but also bring in kind of the gleamy, the fun, the nice finishes, and a little bit of fun design stuff. So I'm glad that you like this, because I saw your face when you walked in here, and it made me so happy.
Colors alone are like
I know.
me.
Katie,
Did you see the sconces too? Those are fun.
I'm in love
Very
with the sconces.
modern.
I'm in love with these. Like that tile I've used probably 5 times at work. It's
And it's
fantastic.
so funny.
And you did it stacked, and you did it vertical.
I like that you're excited.
Me and your interior designer would be so.
Okay, Katie from Solstice Interiors. She's been a dream. This is her first restaurant project.
Oh, wow.
So she's done some
Very
tasting
well.
rooms, and she's done some residential stuff. And I know she did a really great kind of upscale nail salon, but she hadn't done an entire restaurant like this. And so she's been working her butt off, and I love her. She's probably one of my favorite people that I've met in the world. So we're definitely not easy to work with. We've got strong ideas. The sconce look was, we were in Barcelona, and it was right kind of before we jumped in and really started working on this project when we got back, and I was really looking for a lot of design inspiration over there, and I was having a hard time finding those, just those pictures, those things that really, because I had random pictures from Japan, from all over the place, like, okay, well, I like this and I like this, but I hadn't seen anything that I really loved that I wanted to bring home. And the restaurant Flax and Kale had a very different but kind of a similar theme, sconces like this, and so that was where that inspiration came from, and I was really excited about that. Flax and Kale is awesome.
I like the contrast of the modern with the gently used walls.
I love those walls. That's they're stunning. So then we've got you can see we've got all the plants here. So behind the bar, we're going to have espresso. We've got Steady State coming in to help us with our espresso. That's a local roastery. He travels to all of his farms, meets the farmers, has a really good relationship with his coffee producers, and that's something that's important to us, just the traceability and understanding where everything we're sourcing is coming from. So Elliot has been amazing, and he's helping us. He's going to be kind of consulting and training our staff on espresso, so that's going to be really helpful, because I haven't made coffee since I was like 18 at Starbucks in Seattle. So I'm like, I feel like I feel like I could still remember the motion before the Starbucks got the push buttons, and I always loved doing it, but I'm not going to be that much help training, so it's going to be nice to have them. So we'll have that. We'll have the hard kombuchas, the soft kombuchas. We'll be doing house-made sodas after some of our byproducts, because one of the emphasis points here is to just really focus in on total utilization. So we'll be doing house-made oat milk, and then we'll use the spent oats to make our muffins. So there's a lot of stuff just kind of down the run. We'll squeeze the juices. When veggies and fruit we can't use anymore for the plates, we'll make juices out of them. If the juices can't be used anymore, they'll be used to ferment into sauces, or the pulp can be used as a koshu, or anything else. I know pulp has a lot of broth, exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot of different things that we're going to try to just use every step along the way. So compost is the absolute last solution. Not that there's anything wrong with compost. We need all the compost we can get all over the planet, but just for us here, we just really want to show that we can kind of just use every single part. So.
Absolutely.
that's where those house-made sodas will come from. And then what else do we have here? We'll do wine. We're working with some local wine reps to kind of bring in as much. We were trying to learn more about the natural wines versus like the SIP certified. We're looking for a lot of the SIP certification because that kind of hits all the points. So that's been a metric for us. And then of course vegan wines. Use the V word again. And then beers, the same thing. We're really looking for them. For that, all the beers that we can bring in locally that are still, of course, vegan. And then what else will we have? I'm trying to remember. Sakes are still kind of up in the air. I think there'll be stuff that we bring in after we open, but really our focus is bringing in the kombucha. We'll have living tea for our soft kombucha, local roots for our hard kombucha. And so just trying to work with all of our friends and local vendors who have supported us along the way, too.
Excellent.
So, yeah. Let's see what else is going on. There's my ride.
Cool.
It's too cold for that baby right now, okay? My little scoot. And then the communal table will be going here. Those are all the benches for the outside. We have these really cute outside benches, and then we'll have more planters on the outside patio. We're just waiting for the floors to get done in the outside patio, and then we'll be putting these big planter boxes in. So one of the things I love about our current restaurants is that the chefs can go outside and then just pick what they need for garnishes. The servers, if they're garnishing desserts, they can go out and they can pick, edible flowers or herbs that they need. So we're going to set up the same thing here. We'll have our bigger producing garden in the back. But then we have just these little kind of big planter boxes that we can have the chefs running out to, and then try to keep it decorative too, so that it actually contributes to the aesthetic. but it has to be tasty. So we'll have plants along the wall up there. This is going to be a really fun plant wall. Katie should actually be in a little while. She's going to be decorating today. Our windows are still kind of in the way, so we might have to move those. But she's got some cool framed black and white photos of some stuff that's been going on in the community. Yeah. And I think one of our biggest things is it's really important that no matter what we do moving forward, we stay connected to our communities. Yep. And the reason we found this location is because we looked everywhere, but we really wanted to be in Oceanside. And because Oceanside has been so supportive and it's just been such a fun community to grow with. And so this will have some pictures of some local gardens and things that have gone on around town, and then also some more plants, because we need all the plants we can get. Same thing back here. We'll have glassware on lower shelves. We'll have plants up along top. This is really cool. So I want to give a huge shout out, this is Black Moon Design. This is our friend Brandon. And Brand does all of our logos and stuff. He's so incredibly creative. But this pattern was growing on the exterior of the building. We pulled some wood away, and then whatever kind of little, is it lichen? Or whatever kind of little moss or something was growing on the outside of the walls. So he took pictures of it, and then he integrated it into everything that is here. So we've got our menus will have that as our pattern. Our website has that pattern on it. So that was just something where we're really obsessed with. I wanted him to do mycelium because we use a lot of mushrooms here, and I'm just so fascinated by mycelium. But then when he took that picture, he's like, I'm going to use this and put that in there. So I thought that was really cool. That was one of those.
And it looks very earthy. It goes with the name, the plot. Yeah, very nice.
So and I like Brand because he's kind of got that, that edginess, but then also that understanding of how we just want to kind of reintegrate all the things that are important to us. He understands. His wife Rayra works for us over at Wrench and Rodent. She's actually our kindness cultivator. That's her. She's our service manager, but I told her her secondary or other role is to cultivate kindness within our organization, because she is the kindest person I've ever met. Have you met Rayra? She's just like a glowing little, I don't know how to explain her. She's otherworldly. Come on through. So we just started setting up shelves last night. A lot of the stuff had to be new just to try to put the kitchen together, but then we're salvaging as much as we can from the previous restaurant that was here. Luckily, we had a big storage shed, so the previous restaurant just left a ton of stuff, and then we put it all out in storage, and we're going to start moving everything back in today. So this kitchen's going to look a lot different by about 6 o'clock tonight. But it's massive. I know it's almost 2,000 square feet from what I understand.
Just the kitchen?
Well, I would say probably 1,600.
That's still a
Yeah,
lot.
1,800. Yeah, I'm thinking. No, I would say probably when you look at it, it would be close, because the whole space is 4,400, and we almost cut it in half, and that's without the patio. So the goal of this kitchen, we were originally looking for a 40-seat restaurant. This is 150 seats. We wanted just a small little footprint to get started at. But once we saw this, we realized that this can be a hub for multiple locations.
Absolutely.
So in addition to supply in this restaurant, we're already doing catering. We had to kind of slow our roll because we didn't have enough production space for the plot catering.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have this kitchen, we can really start vamping that up. We'll be doing the grab-and-go retail stuff. So as soon as we can do the USDA and the HACCP plan and all of that, we can start distributing that out of this kitchen. And then also smaller footprint locations.
Yeah.
So if we do like 3 more down in San Diego that are very small, we can produce a lot of the stuff that we're doing from scratch here and spoke it down.
Absolutely.
I keep saying spoke, and somebody's like, "You have bad grammar," but I'm like, "Hub, spoke here."
I got
So I think
got the metaphor.
my
It's
stepson was like, "What are you talking about?" So this is just kind of this. Will be a little server station. This is refrigeration. We'll be doing all of our sushi. Vegan sushi, sorry, and then our salads and all of our kind of cool stuff out of this side. We've got our hotline. We can come through here. I don't know. I think we only have one small freezer out of all of these. I don't know which one it is. Won't be doing much frozen.
Is that a rice cooker?
This is our rice cooker.
Wow.
It's a buddy, yeah. So it's a little buddy. Oh, you'll see my big buddy over here.
Oh.
I'm really excited about him. So then we've got fryer. We've got your grills. I mean, the chefs are all way more your planted.
I bet they're so excited to touch all this brand new
That's the thing.
stuff.
We've never had anything new. David and I are like the king and queen of scrap. Like the whole other 2 restaurants were decorated with garage sale finds,
Right.
hand-me-downs from other friends who had restaurants, and his old catering equipment. And so, I mean, when we opened Wrench, we didn't even have a stove. It was a little grill and a toaster oven. So, I mean, that's like, so this, opening a restaurant with this is just, we can't just keep looking around like, I can't believe this is happening. So that convection oven. So this is Big Buddy right here. When I saw this guy, I was like, okay, somebody is serious about baking.
Serious. Oh,
So this
look
is
at
our
that.
little baking station. Oh, you found my tool chest. Thank God. We were looking for that last night. Sorry. I was a little excited there. So yeah, we're going to be doing all of our baking in-house. We've got some pretty big goals as far as getting a lot of stuff made in-house as much as possible. And at Wrench, we've traditionally outsourced a lot of our desserts. We just didn't have the space. But here, because we have Chris, our partner, he actually really likes to bake. And then he got Dave in baking. And now Davin's been on a roll these days. I don't know if anybody saw the tortillas that he made out of avocado seeds or pits. So he made flour out of avocado seeds and then created tortillas out of them. So the goal of, again, with the zero waste stuff, we've already been doing avocado seed mole, because it's another thing when you're doing a lot of sushi. A lot of people like avocados, a lot of avocado toast eaters. So having the pits and just looking at them like, well, we can't plant this many avocado trees. Like, this is a lot. So he's been grilling them. He's been turning them into mole, and then he made a cream sauce out of them at one point. Now he's making flour to make tortillas.
Do you have to dry them completely before you make a flour out of them?
I'm not sure how he did it. We can follow up on that and put that in the show notes. You know,
Yeah.
he's the cook. Everybody thinks I'm a
Yeah,
chef.
totally
I'm
curious.
not a chef. I've said this so many times because everybody's like making me little buttons that say Chef Jessica. I'm like, no, I cannot claim that. The guys, my stepson and David, have to keep an eye on me when I cook. I watch them both. They just swoop in and turn things off, turn things on, toss them for me, because I just wander off. And I'm just not. I look at you and everything that you do, and I'm just like, I'm just not a chef. So I love to cook veggies. I mean, that's great, but I think I'll leave the cooking to them. So then we've got walk-in over here. I see a RoboCoop or a food processor over there. Let's see, big walk-in, dish pits, all the good stuff, another prep sink. And then there's plenty of space to set up. We get tables on wheels for when we have to do prep up big caterings and all of that kind of stuff. Then we're going to hide all the alcohol back there, employee restroom. This has been my little lair for quite a while. The guys all warned me about construction dust. They're like, do not do anything in here until we get through all the demo. And so I decorated, and of course, because that's me. And then the whole place was just covered in construction dust, and the air was so bad in here. So I just keep bringing our plants through and rotating, and then also with the diffuser. Here, let's turn that bad boy on. and just trying to keep the air, and then we're putting a window in too. But it's just like, oh my God, they were so right. I was like shaking. I probably mopped in here like 20 times, and there's so much dust on the ground. But yeah, so this is where I've been hanging out. And then we can walk over to the plotlet if you want.
Yes,
and
please.
Let's go over there. It's really pretty. See if anybody's been drinking beer in there again. It's not on the property. I'll show you the bathrooms too really quick because I think they're really pretty. So these are the communal bathrooms, and then again, Katie tile. That was like her obsession, and I love it. I've got a couple extra ones. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but these are just going to be gender neutral. And then, of course, we had to put a urinal in for the city because apparently that's important. So we have our urinal, guys. So yeah, and we're going to do. Brand's going to do some kind of graphic art stuff for the wall, some mushroom kind of black and whites and stuff like that. So there's still some definite decor to go up, but this is these are our bathrooms.
Beautiful.
That tile is so cool.
Isn't that neat? I know. I love it.
What's the actual shape of it?
It's square.
Square.
Yeah, I have some extras from my office. It's really like you can touch it. It's really cool.
Oh, is it like a mat?
Yeah, it's really nice. I know for the.
It's like pottery.
I know. There's some things like we were trying to be reasonable on this, and there's some definitely like we tried to kind of keep the conservation stuff in line, work with as many different recycled products as possible, and then also keep our prices in line. So there was a lot of kind of balancing going on. But something like that, where the tile, of course, was a little bit more spendy, it's like, okay, well, let's put that in just one spot, but really make it pop and focus on it. So,
That's lovely.
yeah.
That's where you do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so this all of this belongs to you at the Victoria and Albert Museum. I just really like that. They have it up on the wall, and it's because I think it's publicly owned or it belongs to the community. But that was just this idea to kind of say, like, I don't really know. I think a lot of people contributed to the crowd race, so really it belongs to a lot of them because they helped build it. Mm-hmm. And then also just we have this idea of really just open sourcing everything we do. And I was doing an interview ages ago with Vegan Danielle, and I was talking about how to make these things like the banana peel tacos. And she's like, aren't you afraid people are going to copy them? And I was like, that is absolutely what I want them to do. Because it's for us, it's like we can always have more ideas, but the idea that everybody can do these things and really start to make more of a difference, and it can be more impactful. If they, so I don't know. It was meaningful to me, and I just kind of liked it. So it's kind of like one of those things with our name at the other restaurant, Ranch and Rodent. We can come up with like 20 different reasons why we named our restaurant that, but at the end of the day, it's just because we liked it. So this is the Plot Cottage, and I don't remember what state it was in before you guys when you came here last.
I would say it was probably about 75%
Okay.
finished on the inside.
On the inside.
As far as all the furniture you were putting in there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
This idea was we didn't really anticipate getting a little residential dwelling with our restaurant space, and it came with a lease. And so what we decided to do is we have this space over there. We want to go over here.
Oh no, I was just letting them know that A was over there.
Oh, cute.
2 rooms? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't remember the code on that one. I don't have the keys on me right now. So that's just a little 1-bedroom with a really cute little shower and bath.
Uh-huh.
And then over on the other side, there's a storage shed that we're using for all of our catering operations for both restaurants. Because we have another catering company. And then, so this guy, I just kind of redecorated. And then the idea was to just start growing as much as possible out here. So we're going to have, we've just planted. I know there's so many little dudes. So one of the things was Bianca, who's our farmer, just kind of wanted to start getting some nutrients into the soil. So she planted a bunch of kind of cover crops with some clovers and such. So you'll see all the little clovers. And there's some little lettuces that have gone and started growing. And then I don't know how they like this weather. It's pretty chilly, but
they seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, everybody seems pretty happy.
Yeah.
And then we've got our passion fruit that we're gonna have grow along the sides, and then all the little peas and you eat something. You guys hungry? I don't know I don't know what is what at this point, but I see these little green sprouts and I just want to put them in my mouth. It's just the first instinct. I love those little pea buddies along the back.
Wow.
And so right now we're just trying to get the nitrogen in the soil and really start to, I'm not the expert on cover cropping or regenerative agriculture techniques, but
clearly everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Yes.
And Bianca from Community Roots Farms has been amazing helping with all of this, creating
You can tell
those
where all
beds.
the water and the shade. I don't know
Yeah,
what's going on
you
here.
can see there's a party over there. That's really funny. They're all over there. Like,
Hog
hey
in the
guys,
water.
this is where we hang out. Yeah. So the goal is, so we have Lance from Raw Edge Designs. He's putting a table in down the middle. It's going to be just kind of a big raw edge table that's going to be seat about 20 people with bench seating. So this will be a space where we can have different chefs come together, and we can do small community meals, we can do fundraisers, whatever it is. It's just kind of another fun space. And the other thing that I love about this is that's our parking lot too. So people can come to the plot and they can park, and then they can see food. Right. And that to me is so important, the idea that people can see where their food's coming from and get a little closer to it, because I think it's so easy to just be like, oh, food comes from, there, the grocery store, that's fine. And that's the end of the thought process. And so to see like, oh, okay, well, the chefs are actually coming over here and picking and bringing back to the restaurant, like that, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
and then hopefully, I'm hoping we can fit some more planter boxes. I just want all garden, but then I understand the idea of having a table and trying to do events. So I'm like, okay, let's get the table in and then see how much more we can grow.
Right.
And I feel like there was a little buddy over here having a snack. And having a party. I have to clean this up. But look, it got pulled out. There's been things that have been nibbled on.
Yeah.
So there's
Somebody was looking for
somebody was
roots.
hungry. Look at this. Look, somebody ate all of these little guys.
I hope they're okay.
Oh, they'll just grow back.
So
No, I meant whoever ate them.
Yeah.
I think
Unless it was like a random Oceanside human, like the alley zombies. But yeah, so this apparently was somebody's snack, and let me open this one up so we can go in here.
Now, did you guys chop the palm tree, or was that chopped?
No, that was already chopped.
Bummer.
And they keep telling me, somebody was like quoting me to get it removed, and I'm like, do I have to remove that? I don't know. Like, to me, I just think it's there, and somebody wanted to carve a totem pole into it, but yeah, that was gone before we got here. We would not take any. That was the one thing with the front. You guys saw the front there with all the landscaping,
Beautiful, yeah.
and you see those palms that are right in the front. At first, our architect and they were talking about wanting to take those out for better visibility and do these big planters. And the planters were gonna, put them in and plant plants, and we're all looking and we're like, that's not who we are. We're not going to just pull out palm trees, even if it's like a better look to have the planters in there.
Right.
So we're just like, we can't do that. So we just left everybody where they belong, in the ground.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful.
So we definitely moved the landscape architects moved some stuff around, but all of the plants were repurposed. So, come on. Let's see. Sorry, that was me talking to my feet, not. So this is, I don't know how far along you guys saw it. It's probably pretty much there right now. When you saw it.
This is, pretty
Yeah,
fast.
so nothing really that much else has been done.
You had a couple of beds that weren't unpacked yet.
Was that it? Okay,
Yeah.
so now we have beds, and that TV it hasn't been listed yet, and I need to get a better thing to put the TV on, so I'm putting it over there on a little shelf unit. So I've just been hunting for that, so that's probably going to happen soon before somebody comes and stays here.
Most important question.
What's that?
What's the price range?
What's the price? Oh, for this?
Yeah.
I believe like on peak times it's going to be a little over $200 a night. So for a 3-bedroom, walking distance from the beach and all of this great community stuff, I feel like that would be
If you want to
cool
find
spot.
it to stay, if someone wants to find it, do they type the plotlet in, or how is it listed?
I know it's on Airbnb, VRBO, if you search the plots, they do, I call it the plot cottage. So I think that's how it would be listed. Or if you just look for rentals in Oceanside, I'm sure you could find it. I think it's North County Property Manager that manages it.
Okay,
So.
so
And when is it available then?
It is available currently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just they really wanted me to put a TV in. We're not TV people, so I didn't really know how to get a TV or what to do with the TV.
Who really spends the money to come to the beach to watch TV?
And so they really wanted me to put a TV in it. So I got this TV, and now I have to figure out what to do with it. So if I see it rented, I'll hustle. But until then, I need to get a little shelf and put the TV over there. And I just come through here, every day or so and rotate the plants and try to keep everybody happy. So sorry, I'm looking past you at that little guy. He needs a little love over there, but. So this is just our little rental cottage. And then the goal for this, like we have our friend Chef Peter Harrison from England who comes over once a year, and there's chefs up in LA that we want to collaborate with. So one of the things that we're excited about is now we have a place where we can invite people to come and to cook with us too. And so there can be collaborations. And so it's it's nice that it's here and it can be a revenue stream, but more importantly it could be something where you can bring community together around food. So there's always that higher purpose or that So let's see. We're official. We did all the things right. That little plant is happy over there. Oops. Would you somebody mind switching that lock on that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. It's just so much easier if we do it that way. Then the goal eventually will be to do more planting along that strip along the road there, because we technically can. The city, if we do anything too quickly, they're going to want us to run irrigation out there.
Right.
And I think we actually have a line that gets to there, so potentially we could start growing some fruit trees and some other things along there. I planted a bunch of just random rosemary and lavender and stuff over in that little strip, which isn't really our property, but I just did it anyway. Nobody complained. So I just kind of keep just doing what we're doing. So this is pretty much where we've been hanging out nonstop. We've got some stucco going in here. I'm hoping our windows will get put in. But do you have any questions about the project or anything?
No, I think you've covered a lot of. Okay, cool.
It's angry over there. Are those the parrots? Who's over there? You hear him?
Over there.
Yeah. You've seen them, Liz, right? The rogue parrots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they squawk like that? Oh, really?
Things. We want to keep it just a really simple, awesome, clean menu.
Right.
So, yeah.
Cool.
But it'll still be pretty epic.
Yeah. Now, do you have any chefs you want to do a shout out to?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Oh, okay, so this is so exciting. Sorry, I get so excited. It's like I've been getting up earlier and earlier, and I never was a morning person, and now I'm just really digging being a morning person. So this is so fun. So Chef David, my husband, who is just my hero. His total utilization practices are phenomenal. His dedication, his excitement for the vegan movement. He loves cooking with plants. He wooed me with his plants, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Chef Christopher Logan, who is our other partner, and he has been cooking with me his entire life and decided this is what he wants for his future and for the future of cooking, and he understands all of the benefits of it, and is making this decision after 4 decades of being a chef to start. Sorry, it's really loud.
Yeah, he's just always in a hurry.
So making this decision to really start to dive in on the veggie, this is what he's committed for his future. So that to me was really meaningful, to have a chef who's been doing it for so many years. We're in a construction zone. Yeah. If I can record my shout out
louder and louder, like you're literally doing shout outs.
Yeah, I'm actually shouting. Well, it's so funny because I love the fact that they're walking right past the microphone and just like yelling, they're like. Like they don't get it.
They're doing their job.
Yeah. So Chef Christopher, I think his commitment to this movement has just been so exciting to witness as he's evolved as a chef, and he's gone through, and he has 40 years in this industry working with chains like Outback. So he definitely wasn't a vegan chef when he came on board. And now he's getting so excited to go back and learn how to remake all of his veganize everything, veganize it like that. And then also there's Chef Poncho, we met him when he was down at Serena. Then he ended up going, and he's vegan, and he cooked me one of my favorite vegan tasting menus. We've been following him and staying in touch. He went up to San Francisco and was working at a Michelin star restaurant up there. Really wanted to be a part of this project. He is now coming back down here to work, so he's going to work with us too. And so we're incredibly excited for this team. And then there's Kevin Skiba, who's another local chef who's coming in. We've got a bunch of people that we've been talking to that we're going to bring on. But so our culinary team is going to be a lot of fun, and a good range of traditional omnivore chefs, creative mad scientist-y types, and then actual hardcore vegan chefs too.
Wow.
So I think they're going to learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Give us a price range for people listening.
Trying to keep it really moderate. And that's one thing I was talking to some investor friends who were kind of like, wow, those are your price points? I'm like, yeah, but the best things is with plants and with total utilization, we can keep our costs really low, and we don't want to just keep our costs really low and then just gouge. We're going to try to find a way to keep everything really moderate. So, we're looking for breakfast, anywhere from $8 to $12 with an item that you can come in and get for $6, or a pastry that you can get from $4. Lunch probably around the same range. Dinner will bump up. It'll probably be a little bit more from like 14 to 20 type entree options. But really, really want to keep it manageable, because our idea is the more people we can feed with plants, the better. So we want to make it, just aim for volume and really get people in here. But then, again, with the way that we're producing our food, we can do that and still be a profitable restaurant, because that's important too. Because if we don't stay in business, we're not going to do anybody any good. So that's the goal right there, is to kind of stay within that range. Beautiful. So yeah, I know I like to get full for $10. Like, that's my thing. So that's the hangry vegan at the Wet Needle. Like, go in there and get a bowl of ramen and get super full for around $10, and I think that's great. Yeah. So it's not affordable and accessible to everyone. We understand that, but we're going to do our best. And we're also opening with a donation of, I think, 3,000 plus meals to Feeding San Diego that'll be vegan meals, and we're committed to doing a lot with our local communities to try to support and give back too. So that's a big part of our mission.
Sainthood. It's on its way.
It's on its way.
I love it.